Hmm. Um, I hope there was some music to introduce you to this podcast because if there wasn't, then what am I doing? But anyway, welcome to Tarotni Talks. This is so weird. First of all, why do my AirPods not have a good microphone? I tried to do a test talk. Wow. Okay. With my earphones on, and my mic is just messed up. So now I have to hold my phone in my hand and talk like I'm barbaric or something. But anyway, we'll probably buy mics and headphones when we're rich and have many, many sponsors. So, welcome to Tarotni Talks. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. I've been wanting to start a podcast since 2015 at least, and I think I did. Oh my gosh, I did. Okay, first things first, I'm Niharika, and I'm here talking to you about I don't know what. Well, today I think it's just going to be kind of an introduction to my spiritual journey. I have to tell you before anything starts that I am a rambler because I get really anxious for no reason while talking, and I have the attention span of a spoon. So I'm gonna jump from topic to topic in probably zero point 0.3 seconds. So you're gonna have to keep up. I think I honestly want to see it as a positive because I feel like that just keeps you interested because there's just so many things happening at once. So I hope that is, you will look at me in a positive light the way that I'm trying to as well. Anyway, so I've wanted to do a podcast since, like I said, 2015, and I actually did. Not successfully. It was for myself. I didn't really tell anyone about this. I don't think anyone knew. I don't think it was public, but like I didn't really do anything about it or share it with anybody, so no one really knew about it. Like none of my friends, my family, nobody. It was just one summer when I was down in India. I was vacationing in India. Well, I'm in India now full time, all the time, but I was born. I was born in India, but I was raised in Dubai, and I used to visit every year, at least once a year. So every time I would visit my family and I would live with them. And after a point, all of the kids had gone abroad for studies or something. Work. So I used to be alone a lot, and I could only Skype with my friends a few hours of the day because I mean they have lives. So I did this thing one summer where I don't know, there was this app at the time that was exclusively for podcasts. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anymore. I don't even remember what it was called, but I kind of like recorded a few episodes on it. I'm pretty sure it's on my iTunes somewhere, but I don't want to find it. It was just me like thinking about incidences that have happened in my life and analyzing them and talking to myself about it. But it only lasted like 4 or 5 episodes, and I don't remember what I talked about for the life of me. But the point is that I do have a career in podcasting. So this is not my first rodeo. I've never said that before, but it is my first time actually talking to someone. Like this is the first time I'm actually going to share something with someone, and we're like 4 minutes into this and I've told you nothing of any relevance to your life or that will help you. I don't think anything in this podcast will help you. It's just like, hang out with me, listen to me talking. And that's it. So yeah, and then I tried to start a podcast with one of my best friends at the time in like the first year of university, which we recorded our first episode video and audio, but I never got it up because I just couldn't figure out how to get such a large file up on the internet, and Spotify wasn't a thing back then, but it is now. I still don't know how I'm gonna get this uploaded. I think I have it figured out, but I'm still not sure. So if you're listening to this, just please give me a virtual pat on the back because I did it. And yeah, so this podcast is honestly just about I was thinking about it. I was thinking about Tarotni talks since when did I start Tarotni? I think in March or something. I was thinking of Tarotni talks by like April. A month into it, I knew I wanted to have a podcast. I just didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I literally Tarotni talks, like I thought of it months ago, but I never actually got around to doing it. One, because I didn't think anybody would like listen to it. I mean, we're 5.5 minutes into this. Who is really listening to me ramble? If you are, I'm so grateful for you. But it's like, I don't know. I talk a lot about everything all at once, and it just doesn't seem like something that people will be interested in. But no, I'm not being self-deprecating. This is just how I feel. But if you're here and you're listening, I am so glad. Um, and so I thought, why not make a podcast just mostly talking about my experiences, because YouTube is fun and all, but YouTube videos, making them, even IGTVs, is just so much work, and it takes an entire day, including like from the top, just getting dressed, putting on makeup, doing my hair, recording, and then editing, and then uploading. And technology and I are just not the best of friends at all times. I could be cliche and say Mercury retrograde. Mercury is retrograde right now, but I'm not going to say that. But I was going to, but I'm not going to. And doesn't work out, and it just takes a long time for me to get a video out. And after putting so much effort into it, when it refuses to upload, it just breaks my heart and makes me really, really angry. And that's honestly a side of me that I don't appreciate, because I get really aggressive and I start punching my laptop keyboard. So podcasting seemed like honestly the best way to go, because it doesn't take that much time to upload. I can literally look homeless, and I'm sorry, no offense to the homeless. I have to stop. I'm trying to unlearn saying that, because I don't know. I just one day woke up and decided that was offensive to me. I don't know why. So I look really terrible, and I can look really terrible, and no one's going to say anything about it. So here I am, trying this 7.5 minutes in. Don't know what I'm talking about. But I decided to do this today because I was chilling and I realized that I had a blog on WordPress when I was like, okay, I'm really bad at math. In like 2014-ish, I think, in high school, definitely, when I was in 12th grade. 2013 was my first post. 2014 was my first post. So in high school, in 12th grade, that was the first time that I posted on this blog. I just went down to check, and I was like rediscovering it, and I was going through it, and I found this really, I first of all was very wise for however old I was in 2014. I didn't think I sound really like grown up in these posts. I didn't know that I could sound like this as a whatever I was in 2014-year-old. And I don't know, it was just really interesting, and I was going through it, and I found this post that I wrote back in 2015 that honestly, like, I didn't know that I always thought like this. I kind of knew, but I didn't have any proof for it. And so someone was talking about, I don't know who I was talking to about, but someone mentioned like the scientific reasoning behind spirituality or something of that sort. And the thing with me is that I can explain the whole, like, ask me anything about spirituality, I can explain it to you with scientific backing. The whole thing about why science is what we choose to believe to be the ultimate truth is a completely different podcast. But in short, a lot of people base the ultimate truth on science, and arguably so. I'm not going to debate about it in this podcast, but I have always been able to back my spiritual beliefs with science. I think for me as well, that was the rational way of thinking as a child. So I think that I always, came up with or researched the scientific backings behind my spiritual beliefs. But as I grew up, I kind of have reached this point now where I think about why we hold science to be the ultimate, thing of truth. What's the thing? Standard of truth, when we're literally saying that spirituality, if spiritual, okay, if spirituality and science are saying the same thing, then why do we believe science? And the answer to that is simple: because you have tangible proof. With spirituality, you may not have tangible proof. You may have to experience things to be like to know that they're real, and the human race is terribly afraid of the unknown. So it makes sense why people believe science. But I, from what I've seen in my life, can't you know I can't say that, I don't know. I believe in miracles, and I believe that things that we don't see. And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't believe in it if I hadn't experienced it. So I get it. But I don't know. At this point, after having experienced everything, I would not shun anybody who tried to tell me about something that I've never experienced before. Like, I would believe them. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is all coming from this blog post I wrote about. I think it was my mind trying to make sense of God and religion and spirituality, but mostly religion, and the whole concept of souls and how that has anything to do with science. So I thought that I'd like read that little thing. Sorry, my brain just went like, I don't think anyone's listening anymore. I have to stop thinking this way. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the post, and then we'll discuss after that. So, okay, posted on January 14th, 2015. It was titled Deep Thoughts at 1 a.m. No Filter. And okay, what I believe is that there are a lot of souls around us. Some have found bodies and some have not. Some are impure and others are less pure. All souls are basically just forms of energy: good energy, bad energy, or both. The most positive energy that exists is termed God, and the most negative energy that exists is termed the devil. We have positive and negative in us both. English. We take form in physical bodies to reach a state where we don't have any negative energy in us anymore, only positive. And when we reach that point, when we are cleansed of all negative energy, we become one with God. That's why they say God is in all of us. That's so cute. We're just working on finding Him. God is a woman, but anyway, that's why rebirth happens. I feel like one birth is not enough to gain so much knowledge and become enlightened about what our purpose is. And one birth is not enough to do the amount of good deeds we need to do to cleanse ourselves. And in this process of reaching close to the positive soul that is called God, we meet other souls who are trying to do the same. Some of them are more experienced than us, and some are less experienced. We meet some of them for a purpose which will help us progress. We are indebted to so many other souls, and that's why our paths keep crossing. Soulmates are those that we are connected to and find them in every birth because we can't be without them. According to me, that's why we do good things and we do bad things, and we meet good and bad people. Everyone goes through different experiences because they're supposed to. They're in debt with the other person, and they have to even it out so that there's no regret left and no grudges. We go through life experiences to learn from them and grow. Cute, right? I agree. So basically, I was reading this and I was like, girl, what? And the thing is, I think I was talking to my best friend about this like many moons ago, I think a month ago or something, and she was telling me how someone important came up with the same theory, and I was like, I came up with the same theory, what are you talking about? When I was like, however old I was in 2015. Okay, how old was I 5 years ago? Come on. 18. I was 18, right? Yeah, okay, maybe I was somewhere there. Okay, and wait, was I 18 5 years ago? Yeah, I was 18 5 years ago. That's insane. Anyway, this is the whole jumping from topic to topic thing. But the point is that I already came up with this theory, and now someone important came up with it, and I was like, girl, I beat you to it a long time ago as a wee little, just legal, barely legal child. But anyway, this got me thinking about how I've always just known, like I've always just like my mind just made this theory in its brain, and I kind of went from there. And even before I had any experiences, um I don't think this is before I've had any experiences, but I'm just saying, like, even before I think I always believed in things that were beyond us and beyond human understanding, and I never really dismissed anything just because I haven't experienced it, even though I say that I wouldn't have believed in it if I had an experience. You get my point. So it got me thinking about, like, I don't know, I just felt like I should start with that, for any skeptics out there, that are wondering why I believe in this stuff. It's because, I don't know, I've always believed that everything is energy. I feel like someone has said this before, but I just believe that everything is energy, and I always have. And I mean, energy is back to, like, it's a scientific term, right? Kinetic energy, tension, and there's just all these types of names that we give energy. But anyway, my point is, energy and matter are all scientific terms, and that's just how I've seen everything. That's just how I've seen spiritual stuff, God, religion, and that's why I can't really debate with it. Plus, I've witnessed miracles in my own life, in the people that I love, lives. Cool. So you can't help but after you've after you've lived the life that I have, you can't not believe in the supernatural or the spiritual or things that the naked eye can't see. But yeah, that's how I've always thought, and that's why I believe in everything that I believe in. I believe in science, I believe in the supernatural, I believe in the spiritual, everything. So I started, I think I've always been spiritual because I was born. Oh, by the way, we've moved on to my spiritual journey, in case I didn't tell you. I think I I was always spiritual because I was born into a spiritual family. This has just been a thing for us for as long as I can remember. And we just kind of, as I grew up and I saw, the West normalize meditation and the law of attraction and all this kinds of stuff, I was like, hey man, I've been learning this through, my family, and for them it's like through our religion. They've taught me these things, and I don't want to get religious, honestly, but for me, like, spirituality and religion are so intertwined because as I grow up more and more, I see that whenever I read religious scriptures, they kind of teach me the same thing that spirituality teaches me. And it just wasn't normalized until the white people were like, okay, this is cool now, this is the next trend, everybody manifest. Whereas manifestation and the law of attraction is, it's as simple as just prayer. I don't know, this is controversial to say, but honestly, yeah, it's just like wishing upon a star, praying to your gods, asking for something. It's the same as manifestation. It's just the way that we do things are a little different now. Speak in present tense, don't say you wish for this or want this, say that you already have it, type of stuff. But if you read, I'm a Hindu, by the way, if you read our mantras and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in every religion. I'm pretty sure every religion's holy scriptures tell you that, God is here to give you what you want, and you can have the life that you want as long as you're just a good person. You're going to get good things, that sort of a thing. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, basically, they're all intertwined. And when I heard the West normalize these things, I was like, man, I already know this. Like, I've been taught this for the entirety of my life. It's just been given different names, and it was in a different language, but it essentially boils down to the same thing. So I discovered, I think I started meditating when I was like 14-ish, I want to say. Yeah, around that time. and it's rough. Like, I don't, as a 13-14-year-old, especially with a mind like mine, thinks like 6 thoughts per minute. It's not easy to meditate. It's still not easy to meditate for me on bad days, or days that I'm just like really anxious about something. But I started meditating back then, and it was just honestly the power of my mind at that point. uh, but as I grew up, I think I started to do my research and study about these tools, and theories, and more about like, uh, you know the trending topics of spirituality, and also just in general try to research about origins and witchcraft, and crystals, and herbs, and tarot cards, and all these different things. And one day I was like, you know what? I like a crystal. I think I like this idea of being so connected to parts of the earth that have the purest form of energy running through them. I would love to invest in some crystals. And I kind of was doing my research for like months before I got one, because I just wanted to know what they were about. I didn't want to buy the wrong one. I didn't know if I could just, buy anything, because, with birthstones and stuff, you have to like some people are not compatible with a lot of stones. So I didn't know if the same thing went for like a rose quartz. I don't know if everybody could buy one. So I did my research, and I was really drawn to, like, when I did, that's the thing, like when I researched about them in theory, I knew which ones I wanted to get because those fulfilled my needs. But then, anyway, the story of me going to the crystal shop was a really funny one. My parents were out of town, and I had to, like, I was at work, and it was like around 4 p.m. And I just had this epiphany, and I was like, I have to get a crystal today. I have to find a crystal store. I have to go to the crystal store, and I have to buy it today. Come what may. I will sit through hours of traffic. I will travel hours and hours and hours. I need to go and get a crystal today. It was just this like overwhelming urge, and my gut feeling has never persuaded me to do something this hard before that. So I was like, okay, cool. I got in a rickshaw, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna go get a crystal. And it's kind of hard to believe that I didn't already have crystals like long ago, and I just got into this now, like recently, a year ago or something. Because no, not even a year ago, a few like 8 or 9 months, yeah, almost a year ago. Because I mean, spirituality was all, you get the point. So I got in a rig, and I got to my crystal store, and I already knew which ones I wanted because of the research that I did. But when I got to the store, I was drawn to some, like, obviously the ones that I wanted were on my list. I was drawn to them, but I was also drawn to crystals that I didn't think I needed, or didn't think I was, like, when you go on the internet, they're like, rose quartz is good for self-love, black tourmaline, words of negativity. Like, they tell you what each crystal is for. So that's how I'd made my list. But when I got to the crystal store, I was like, wow, oh my gosh, we're 23 minutes in this podcast. Sorry. When I got to the crystal store, I was completely drawn to these other crystals that I knew nothing about, but I was so drawn to. I was like, listen, I don't know if I'm supposed to be buying this because I've not researched about it. I think it was the amethyst and the clear quartz. I knew nothing about it. I was like, but I must have them because I'm so drawn to them. So I bought them along with a black tourmaline. I think my first set of crystals were a clear quartz, the like a clear quartz. What's the thing called? With the it's like a pyramid, but then it's long. I don't know what it's called. A clear quartz something carved, and raw amethyst and raw black tourmaline. And I think, yeah, that's it. I think those three were my first crystals. I still have them, and they are more powerful now than they were when I bought them, obviously, because they're connected to me or whatever. And I brought them home, and it was, I don't know why I'm talking about this. literally have no plan, but I guess this is where we're going with this. And I brought them home, and I tried to meditate with them, and I had my black tourmaline in my hand. I cleansed them obviously in salt water. All of them were water friendly, thank God, because I did not know at the time that. No, wait, actually, I did know that some of them are not water friendly, but not to this I just didn't know much about them not being water friendly, but thankfully all of my first crystals were. So I put them in salt water for like 30 minutes, and I put them in my puja room, like my puja altar, because I don't know. I didn't know. I thought that, what if there's some negative energy attached to them? So I was like, God, my dude, can you please just, do your thing on this? I don't want this to backfire. I didn't know what I was getting into. And then I held my black tourmaline in my hand, and I closed my eyes, and I was trying to meditate, but I couldn't fall into like the whole, like I couldn't sink into a meditative state. I was just very aware of it in my hand for some reason. And like a minute and a half into it, my black tourmaline started to pulse in my hand as though it had a heartbeat. And I was like, what the heck is this? I just realized that I might swear in this podcast, and I don't swear in front of my family. So if my family is listening, hi mom, I swear, sorry you had to find out this way. In case I do, I don't think I will now that I'm aware of it, but in case I do. Anyway, so my black tourmaline starts to pulse in my hand as if it had a heartbeat, and I got extremely scared of it, but like I was shocked. I wasn't like, I didn't have fear in my mind, but I was shocked. So I was startled. I was like, what the heck? So I put it down, and I took my phone and I googled. I couldn't think of the word pulse. Like, I didn't think that that's what it's called. So I googled, why is my black tourmaline throbbing in my hand? And then Google search was like, yeah, that's normal, it's just connecting with you. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then my amethyst becomes really cold in my hand usually. So does my clear quartz, so does my rose quartz. So yeah, that's when I found out, oh okay, this stuff is just, it just means it's connecting to you. And yeah, that's how my obsession with crystals started, because they're so rewarding. Like, they're just rocks from the earth. Well, not just rocks from the earth, they're literally rocks from the earth with live energy in them. They connect you to the earth. It's so cool. How does nobody, okay. And literally look up geology. Like, if anyone's like not a believer in crystals, hold one in your hand, or if it doesn't do anything, just study geology. It all says the same thing. Anyway, so that was my thing with crystals. And then I don't know, man, these things happen very like instantly, almost like very gut feelingy impulse things. Like, I would read about them and research about them a lot, but when I bought them, it was a very impulsive decision. So after the crystals, it was the tarot cards, and that was honestly like, for months I was like, I want tarot cards, but I don't know, like, I heard that your first deck, has to be gifted, because that means that it's your time or something. And then one day I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get it for myself. I'm not going to wait for anyone. And that's just my mindset about most things. Like, if I want something, I just go ahead and get it. So I'm very like, self-fulfilled as a human being. Anyway, so I go on Amazon and I got my first deck, and it was a steal because I don't know if you guys know, but the original Rider-Waite deck on India's Amazon store changes prices every day. Like, literally every time I've gone and like searched for cards, it's a different price, and it's now ranging around like 800, 900. I don't know, I haven't checked in a very long time, but the last time I checked, it was like 800-900. And when I got it for like $500, which is honestly a steal, because I haven't got it. I haven't read it to be low. Can't speak anymore. You get the point. So it was a steal, and I got my first deck, and I was so obsessed with it, but I knew nothing about spiritual hygiene, so I would literally deal it anytime, anywhere, like on my bed, on the floor, and I connected with it immediately. And my mom literally was the first person I read for. Like, I tried to do it for myself first, and then I read for my mom, and she was like, I never believed in this stuff, but your scary accurate. And I was like, great. And then shortly after, I started Tarotni, and it literally never meant to be something that I would do as, you know, a profession, like something that would make me money ever, because this stuff is not about money for me. It's more about helping people. That sounds really pretentious, but it's the truth. So then I started Tarotni, and it was just like an Instagram page where I could do readings and stuff, because I had a lot of tarot readers that I followed and liked. So I thought, why not do it myself and help people, you know? That's another thing. Helping people, like, in little ways, was always a thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this because it sounds really pretentious for some reason, but that was always a thing. And it started with psychology, and then it went on to making YouTube videos, make someone giggle maybe. But I think spirituality is a great way for me to help people. I made that dream of mine come true really quickly. So I'm, happy about that. 30 minutes. Wow, I didn't think I'd last this long and like not stop yapping. That's crazy. I don't know. I think I should end it soon, because like, who's gonna listen to an hour of me speaking? So I'm just quickly gonna wrap this up and tell you about, okay, so then I started Tarotni in like March, and it immediately got a really good response. And one of my best friends, who is now doing this with me, Siddhi, who runs the astrology section of Tarotni, I did a reading for her birthday. Oh yeah, around her birthday is when I started taking in paid readings, because I didn't think that I would. You're supposed to like do this for years before you start actually taking in readings, and I was a few months in when I started taking in readings, and it just, I don't know, it just stuck. I think I learned a lot around the way. I was saying Siddhi encouraged me to kind of start taking in paid readings, and I did. I was really scared too, but I did. I made an extensive menu and I put it out there, and the response was overwhelming. Like, even people who were booking it, just booking it was overwhelming. And then of course when I did it for people, the response was really good. So I've been in the spiritual game for a long time, but I haven't been in the tarot game for that long. But it feels like it's been years. And I'm still learning, but it's been, so far it checks out. No one's complained ever. They've found help in little ways or huge ways. In some way, shape or form, I was able to help them, and tarot cards were my medium. And I mean, for me, spirituality, obviously it goes beyond the cards and the crystals. And I mean, yeah, you don't need this stuff, but it sure helps on the days that you just don't feel like it, like the days that I need to get a reading out, but I just can't. Like, if I really can't, I don't push myself, because always listen to your body and your gut. But on the days that I, like, if it's a Sunday, I have to give it on that day, because I give a week slot. So I mean, I hold a crystal in my hand and I calm myself down, and my moonstone is like, chill, you got this, you can do this. And like an hour later, I have 3 readings out of the way, and I'm ahead of time. So even though these tools are not needed or necessary, I've grown to fall in love with them, and I couldn't imagine my life without them. So I mean, yeah, I think that's what this podcast is about. It's a story of how my spirituality brought me to start my own business at the ripe age of 23. And yeah, it's going really well, and I'm happy with it. And I don't know, man. I hope that I can, like, me and Siddhi can grow this into something bigger than what it is today. Just in the sense, like, not as a corporate, but just as a place where people can come to just feel better about their day, be it seeing a post or a reel or a pick a card, or asking a question and getting some answers, not tarot answers, just like asking a general question like, hey, I feel really lost, I want to buy a crystal, which one should I buy? I don't know which one I'm drawn to, and getting an answer and buying that crystal and feeling better about themselves. You know what I mean? That's the goal. I just hope that I can, with Siddhi, reach the right people. And I asked Siddhi to be on this podcast, but she will be on another one. And plus, she doesn't know I'm doing this today. I just literally like picked up my phone and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk. I don't know about what, but like I said, everything in this, like everything happens with on impulse with me. So yeah, I did a poll just today, and I was like, if we did a podcast, would you listen to it? And everyone said yes. I mean, so far it's been an hour since I put it up, I think, and everyone said yes. And some of y'all messaged me and said yes, please. So I'm gonna do it, okay? And I hope that this sees the internet. And I asked Siddhi to be on this, but she will catch us when she can next. But yeah, I hope that this made any sense to you. It's been 35 minutes. I really want to stop because I don't know. I mean, I'm going to ramble on in the next few podcasts, but you know what I mean. So I hope that you enjoyed this little story time of me. See, this is why I love podcasts, because I can literally talk about something inconclusive. This had a conclusion, but even if it didn't, I can talk about it and you'll, enjoy it, I guess. It'll be like a little thing you can do while you're cooking or driving or, I don't know, going to bed. I listen to podcasts when I'm going to bed a lot. I need some background noise, like I need, and not music. I need someone to talk in the background. So I usually play TV shows or podcasts to be able to fall asleep. So I hope I can be that lullaby for you, bore you to death so you fall asleep. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this little ramble and Tarotni talk. And I will catch you on the next episode. I don't know what it's gonna be about, but you can like TXT me on Tarotni at Tarotni on Instagram, TAROTNI, not Tarotni. I don't know why people don't know that T in tarot is silent, but anyway, it's okay. I'm not mad about it, but yeah, DM us and tell us what you want to talk about, and DM us on Tarotni and pester Siddhi to come on an episode. Okay, I will talk to you in the next one. Let me know what you want it to be about. And yeah, dude. Bye, dudes.